Good afternoon, Stacey. How are you today?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Great. We look forward to having your participation on Thursday, 16 July in the COVID-19 and autism webinar. You've been a great asset and colleague in putting this together, somewhat your brainchild in a sense, and we wanted to thank you for assisting and putting this together. And we also look forward to having full participation next week. In your opinion, why do you think that this is such an important webinar for people to attend?
Well, I mean, it doesn't take long to basically flip on your Facebook or Twitter or the television set, YouTube, you name it, and kind of get a picture of what everybody seems to be capturing these days with their phones. And really what our goal is within the autism community, of course, we want everybody with autism, whether a child, an adult, an elderly person, we want all of those people to be protected and to really feel that our first responders in our community, no matter if they're police officers, child protective services, judges, attorneys, physicians, we want them to have the skills that they need so that they can interact with a person with autism in a time such as today with COVID and protests and just everything that tends to knock all of us off kilter may do that a little bit to a greater degree for a person with autism. And so our community has some really significant challenges through what everybody's finding a challenge with. And oftentimes people on the autism spectrum find themselves getting Baker acted, police being called because, you know, somebody's in a crisis mode. Maybe the family members or the community members don't know how to respond and they call 911. And so we want our officers, when they arrive to the scene or if they're driving by a park and they see somebody with autism who may be acting differently than your average person, we want them to have the skills that they need so they can interact with the person, help them de-escalate, all in a way that is safe for both of them. So not just for the person with autism, but also for the police officer, so that the officer, the EMT, or whoever it is, has the skills that they need to bring the person down, be able to interact with them. And we're going to talk a little bit about communication deficits found in autism so that you guys will know that sometimes when you talk, it's like the person hears the Charlie Brown teacher, wah, wah, wah. So we want you guys to have the skills that you need so that you can interact and communicate, whether that's verbally or non-verbally, with the person with autism, so that you can help them come out of the mode of crisis and get back to a level playing field for everybody's best interest. And, you know, part of the trainings that we provide to officers is we really stress, we really want you to learn about autism. We want you to know what those of us who are family members or those of us who have autism, we want you to recognize, you know, the signs of autism, how to support us, but we also want to keep you out of the news.
Very interesting. Well said. In your opinion, what would be the biggest toolbox item police officers and behavioral health people will be able to take away from this forum?
Well, in addition to understanding a little bit more about autism and how to interact with a person with autism, we really want to focus on de-escalation because, you know, we kind of see everybody escalated these days, again, as we look at social media. And, you know, escalation isn't good for anybody. It's not good for our mental health. It makes us behave erratically, things that we wouldn't normally do. And so we want the officers, the first responders, to have the skills to approach the person who may be in a moment like that and be able to bring them down. And I think that that's one of the really key components. And also we have some really, the presenters are incredible, just absolutely incredible. So I'm really looking forward to a great day, but we're going to be talking about the full spectrum. So we have somebody who's going to talk about people who are pretty independent. And the average person may not even see autism if they interacted with the individual, but yet the autism is still a pervasive developmental disability that is within that person. And then we have people at the other end of the autism spectrum who may not be able to verbally communicate, who may have some very aggressive or significant behaviors when they don't have their needs met or they're not able to express what it is that they need. And then everybody in between. So we want all of the people who attend to see maybe why people with autism respond differently to the community and the things around them, because I think that we're all better able to communicate with each other if we can understand the other person's perspective. And I think today we find in society, most of us are not taking the time to do just that. And with autism particularly, if you can even gain a little bit of information about why a person with autism doesn't it freaks out if you touch them. We want you to know that so that you don't make that move, and so the person doesn't end up in a moment of crisis, which is then going to drag you into the crisis. And we just don't want that, because it's not good for anybody.
I concur 100%. Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you with us today, and we look forward to July 16th. I actually can't wait.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's going to be awesome. And thanks so much for having this, because it's a really hot topic.
no, thank you. Okay, thank you, Stacey.